dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Fun Show here at Big TV. This is the December 11th edition of the Fun Show. Once more, we're missing our distaff representation. Susan is not able to come again. So you're stuck with the two of us. I'm Arch O'Reilly. This is Michael Sallin here. And he appropriately started with a little Hanukkah music as Hanukkah starts tomorrow at sundown. Happy Hanukkah to everyone. We wish you the best. And then 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks from tonight will be Christmas.
Oh, then we have a Christmas song?
And, well, we'll do it next week.
All right.
But if anyone had told me a year ago that I would do what I've done this year, I would never have believed it. I can hardly believe it myself, but I've done probably 99% of my Christmas shopping this year on Amazon. I'm tired from shopping on Amazon.
That's right.
Well, you know, I figured out that I can ship things directly from Amazon. I don't have to bring them in, wrap them, put them in boxes, take them to be shipped. It's the lazy way out. But quite frankly, for our first Christmas in a fascist nation, it's a little hard to quite capture the Christmas spirit, you know. It's funny to try to figure, and if the fascism of this government gets worse, do we really have any confidence in our fellow citizens that they will do anything about it?
Yes, or use alternate facts.
Or will they react like the 1930s Germans did and just bow down and be complicit? I mean, so many people have already shoveled all their integrity into a trash bin when there's not really that much danger. No. I mean, if you crossed the Nazi party, you could end up in a concentration camp.
Right.
If you cross the current occupant, like, the worst that can happen to you is you lose an election or something. It's hardly the same.
Send you over. The bear is over there in Utah.
Well, I mean, only
drill for something.
Only if you worked for him, right?
Yeah, okay.
This is the thing. Well, unfortunately, we've just had another bombing in New York City. Where was it? It was at Grand Central Station or something. And this, literally, the fellow was 27 years old. He was from Bangladesh.
Bangladeshi.
He was a Bangladeshi bomber. The Bangladeshi bomber.
Very good.
The deadly BBs.
Euphonious.
But not deadly. The irony is he's got to be virtually the most incompetent bomber since the shoe bomber, right? He strapped a homemade suicide bomb to his own body, and he set it off in a crowded place, and he didn't even kill himself. I mean, how bad a bomber do you have to be to strap a bomb to your body that doesn't even kill you?
Did it make a noise at all?
Oh, it scared a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And him too, I hope.
I mean, maybe his alternative was go down into a crowded passageway in Grand Central Station and yell, boom!
Well, maybe he wanted to make enough noise so he could be on one of these talk shows, late shows. You know? Can you show us how you strap that on? Could you do that for us?
Yeah, well, he'll probably be in Megyn Kelly's show.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
Since that sounds like her kind of guest. And she doesn't get many guests, you know.
I was going to call and see if we could get on, you and I.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
I'll do it.
I don't even watch NBC anymore because they hired Megyn Kelly. I remember back in the days, you remember Huntley and Brinkley.
I liked Huntley
and Brinkley. That's when NBC was the place to go to for news.
What's the name of those two guys that were on that comedy thing where the doors kept open?
Rowan and Martin.
Yeah, Rowan and Martin.
Dan Rowan and
They were good,
and
too.
Something Martin.
They were fun.
Can't remember Martin's first name. But,
No, but they were very good.
Now, another funny thing about the current occupant, I only refer to the current occupant of the White House as the current occupant. Apparently, the reason that he changed his mind and decided to come out strong and actively campaign for Roy Moore, the serial pedophile in Alabama, was to spite his own daughter. Apparently, he got so incensed that Ivanka said that there was a special place in hell for child molesters, that put him over the edge and made him decide to come out publicly and aggressively to support the child molester. Maybe he felt a kinship there.
Used to the edge. He keeps falling off all the time.
But I just think it's funny that he apparently decided to do this just to spite his own daughter, which will show you what loyalty means to Donnie John, right? I don't think, frankly, that
Ivanka too.
I don't think those two are long for Washington. I think they'll be back in New York in the near future. But I wish them a happy Hanukkah in any case.
All right, that's good too. They got nice kids, I think.
And then we have a situation where the state of California is burning down.
It's terrible. 500 houses, fancy homes.
It's amazing, and it's right on the edge of major cities, and they've had to close some of their most famous freeways, and
they kept telling us months ago that the drought was over. They did.
Well, that was here, not there.
Oh, it was there too.
Oh, really?
They had a big drought in California. Yeah.
Well, the Santa Ana winds don't help much, but
they don't.
Clearly it's burning pretty well.
I feel badly for all these people, as you do, and all our friends out there. And several hundred thousand people haven't got a place to live.
Yeah, it's and that includes probably got a lot of coverage because it includes Ellen DeGeneres, who had to evacuate her new multi-million-dollar mansion. Yeah,
badly for that. Okay, and the club will have to go and find another place.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not burning down.
People.
The poor people's houses.
Oh, it is.
It's
tent would go fast though.
It's sort of like Trump's tax reform. It's aimed mainly at the rich.
That fits nicely. I have to. Ironically, yeah.
Speaking of the rich, which I just was. If anybody is planning to go to Italy, and you want to decide whether to go to Italy, in the last few weeks of this year, you can save yourself a little money because for the first time in history, starting next year, there will be a charge to visit the Pantheon. They're going to charge €2
I went for
to
free,
visit
really,
the
and
Pantheon.
I went for free, yeah. It was nice.
I went to the Pantheon. The
You
thing that is stuck in my mind was walking out of the main door of the Pantheon, having gotten a crick in my neck, looking up at the dome and stuff.
I remember that. Yeah, well.
And I walk out, and the only thing I can see framed in the doorway is a big McDonald's across the plaza. There was something a little jarring of that,
Coffee shop around there or something.
Yeah. There you are in Hadrian's time.
Yes.
A building built by Hadrian.
Right.
Over 2,000 years ago.
Works.
And you, on your way out, all you can see is the golden arches. But I must say, they had the cleanest bathrooms in Italy. in the McDonald's.
Usually they have a little place along the wall that you can stand in front of.
Like those pissoirs in Paris.
Yeah.
The little round.
Right.
And they're all well and good, but they smell pretty bad.
They do. I have
You
to
know?
agree with you. Spraying all the time when I was peeing. Yeah.
Spraying, you had a disinfectant that you were in.
Yeah, I had a little
Yeah.
thing there.
We're talking 1944 now, is that what we're talking?
I was there in 1944 in Italy.
When did you get helped out of the sky? What year was that?
That was 44 also.
44? Yeah. The Germans invited you to come down and visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In flames.
I mean, they sent the invitation by ACAC gun, but other than that.
And machine guns, too. They were good at it. I have to admit
Machine
that.
guns? Oh, were you shot down by planes? Or
Yeah.
by ground fire?
But no.
Oh, you were shot down by fighters.
Yeah, right. We were the top element of
Yeah.
our bomb group, and we were above the clouds.
Yeah.
Down below us was everybody else.
And the 109s found you.
Well, wasn't it F?
Oh, they were Falkworth.
Falk. Yeah. Anyways, they nailed us.
Actually,
Didn't take long.
I actually thought the Falkworth was a better fighter than the Messerschmitt.
It was.
You know.
It was. We hated it. But it was. Yeah, it was a good fighter.
Well, at least you weren't like my step uncle, who actually encountered the jets.
I saw one.
Did you see one?
Saw
Zip
one.
past.
Yeah, we couldn't believe it. Yeah. What the hell was that? Everybody, the crew.
Fortunately, he wasn't shooting at you at the time. Huh?
Fortunately, he had about 10 minutes time.
Yeah.
Not long.
Whoosh.
Whoosh, they were
Yeah, they
gone.
didn't stay up very long in those days. That's true. Well, there was a big internet issue about some kid who made, I guess, a YouTube tape or something complaining about being bullied and saying that no kid should be bullied, and he's crying through the thing, and he got a lot of attention.
It was sad.
And various sports people said, you know, we love you, come to a game, and rappers took up his case, you know, and it was very funny. The rappers took up his
Then
case
came.
because now it turns out that his mother is a dead racist evangelical Christian who has taken a lot of pictures with the kid holding Confederate flags and who wrote after the Charlottesville situation, you people ain't been hurt. You got to stop complaining and you know.
Well, that's
So one somehow starts to wonder, does this have anything to do with the fact that her son is bullied?
doesn't make much sense to me.
No?
No, I'm. And how come everybody was looking the other way when they whacked him? We don't know that.
I
for
never
sure.
quite figured out the specifics of his bullying, because
No.
all I've seen is him sitting in the front seat of a car, which seems to be moving, crying and complaining about bullying. You know, well, nobody should be bullied, but on the
No,
other
I
hand,
know. You could kick him a little.
some sort of ask for it.
It's
while they're
terrible
at it.
for an educator to say something like that.
What do you got on your sheet?
I got a few other things on here. I could bring up like Senator Collins of Maine. She's
Susan Collins, who was a great hero when she voted against the attempt to do away with Obamacare. She flew back home. She reached the airport, and there were hundreds and hundreds cheering her, congratulating her.
holding signs.
Now she put a thin veneer claiming she'd been promised certain things on the tax thing, which is totally unbelievable.
Speaker of the House, Ryan, and by
And Ryan said he wasn't a party to it. He has no obligation.
and Mitch McConnell also.
Mitch McDonald said,
he
tough
doesn't know
luck,
anything
girl.
about it.
Tough luck, little girl, said Mitch. But now she went home, and she was met by hundreds of protesters at the airport who all pointedly turned their back on her. And her office in Maine is being occupied by people who say they won't leave until this bill
Well,
gets.
it's cold outside, anyways. They could stay. It's cold.
Hey, it's warm in here. We're gonna stay.
We haven't even mentioned snow.
It snowed. It finally snowed. But the fire is so delightful. Want else to go? Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
It's supposed to come.
Well, in some parts of the state, it'll snow again tomorrow, so we'll see.
But they're not telling us anything about numbers, no?
It's a secret. There'll be no snow right around here.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. There'll be no snow right around here. North and west, that'll be it. But it'll come. It'll come. It's winter. It's New England. I mean, here's the funny things. It's 2 weeks to Christmas, and we were almost surprised it snowed.
Here you are.
You know, which will show you a little something.
Okay.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Big TV Unrehearsed Thespian Societies to pull out a classic. We're going to do another of our 2 for 3s from the vault, near the top of the vault, and a not particularly political one, which is entitled Balanced.
Balanced, court.
Which is not to be confused with fair and balanced, just plain balanced.
I'll be in court this week.
Oh, about that car accident?
Honest witness.
Well, I volunteered my information.
To an officer at the scene.
It was just a fender bender.
No injuries.
True, there was minimal damage.
But you felt obligated.
No, it's my civic duty.
Your boss obviously approved.
Actually, no, I'm losing a day's pay.
You were subpoenaed.
Splendid fellow, my boss.
My testimony may help the judge.
Well, justice is blind, old man.
You could have got out of it.
Yeah, if I'd been silent.
Now you're embroiled in this.
At least my purpose is meritable.
The defendant's attorney may not agree.
Why not?
Favoritism, possible bribery.
No, that's an ugly accusation.
Well, one driver gave me his card.
Prima facie evidence.
Ridiculous.
Well, perhaps circumstantial.
Natural response on your part.
Just asking for trouble.
Cut it out.
Cross-examination can get nasty.
I didn't do anything.
You think you're innocent.
Unfortunately, it could go either way.
Well, you might get off with probation.
This is a civil case to assess the cost.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Still, it could go badly.
Well, I'm glad it's not me.
I'm having second thoughts, though.
Just say it's not that clear.
Yes, I was mistaken.
Okay, that'll do fine.
Of course.
You could always appeal.
First party of the first part?
No, this is not a contract.
Attempted humor, though.
Just say you misspoke.
Like Hillary after her Bosnian adventure.
And Barack wasn't there when Reverend Wright erupted.
Changed the story later.
Well, the media loves these stories.
Then came Obama's speech on race.
What if I just didn't appear?
Your white grandma?
Would it be contempt of court?
Warrant for his arrest.
Some help you are.
Our key witness.
But you said there was nothing to it.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Ignorantia lexis non secundum est?
Sounds serious to me.
Well, Latin always sounds serious.
Lots of laws come from Latin.
Maybe you just got it wrong.
Not to worry.
Soon it'll be over.
Sure, any witness can disremember.
Is that your best advice?
It's a ticklish situation.
I'm not amused.
After all, you went to the cop.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't compel me.
I'll be under oath.
So, just tell the truth.
That's simple enough.
That could be tricky.
Why do you keep vacillating?
Oh, you mean like switching positions?
You're very political.
Okay, hypothetically, it's night.
Look out the window.
I see a body on the pavement below.
Well, it might be.
It's 3 a.m.
Noise woke you up,
I didn't actually see what happened.
but you heard it.
It was the phone ringing.
You're nuts.
A man ran outside.
Get into discrimination.
While you were talking,
Who was the caller?
my dry cleaner apologizing.
He had misplaced your suit pants?
That seems like a familiar story.
Well, he was formerly an astrologer.
Well, I'm a Capricorn.
I'm Irish.
Really? I never knew that.
You could, if your condo was to be auctioned off.
What, you'll be homeless?
I could refuse to leave.
What, are you going to become a squatter?
Is it illegal?
Well, the authorities might evict you.
Then my furniture, my possessions.
You were duly notified.
I'd be breaking the law?
Dickens Beadle described all this.
Quote, the law is an ass.
I feel sick.
When you find the right page. But probably won't even get to court.
Well, I'll call them in the morning.
And send an email.
Governor Patrick's selling his new book.
He didn't write it yet.
And he's getting a lot of money.
Might need help.
Why?
He's a pretty busy man.
Yeah, he has a state budget, casinos, and campaigning for Barack.
Oh, he's a bright guy.
Well, he's a good manager, and he has staff.
Time for hope.
Yeah, change brings hope.
Hope can change.
This sounds like an infomercial.
Or a new pharmaceutical.
And a musical jingle.
The people will like it.
Oh, sorry now.
It'll be a long, hot summer, baby.
Only it's winter.
Oh.
Blackout. Speaking of Duval Patrick, who we rarely do these days.
Yeah, really.
Very rarely speak of
But
Duval.
he's in the news, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually went down to campaign for Roy Moore's opponent.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. Nobody can remember what the opponent's name is, which is a bad sign. Isn't it something Jones?
Yes, I have it
something.
written down here, but I can't find it.
You can't find it.
It'd be good if I could.
It'd be interesting if he won without anybody remembering his name, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That would be almost like the couple of people that Duval Patrick appointed to be senators from Massachusetts. Nobody can remember their
nobody
name.
can remember.
You can put $100 on the line with 99 people and say they can have it if they can name either of the two appointed senators, and you will leave with $100.
App, and you call Uber. They know the name. Uber knows.
Not Uber, Google.
Google? Oh,
Google.
all right, Google.
Uber will come pick you up.
Which reminds me, Xmas or Christmas trees. are more-
Xmas.
Christmas trees are more expensive this year in New York City.
Okay.
I didn't realize that. Once I was we were in New York City at this time of the year, and every corner had
Christmas trees?
Christmas trees. You know, no woods or any boxes.
Just lean them up against the wall and sell them.
Yeah, they just had them there on the street. Everything. And I wonder
Sort of like the way they used to sell the Sunday paper, right?
Yeah.
Piled up on the street corner.
So it turns out that in the 1990s there was some strange bylaw that they passed that you could use the street corners so people would have a little easier time of taking the thing home with them. Yeah, the tree. Anyways, that was then. Now it's a little different. See?
I always remember the year that I was so disorganized that I didn't actually go look for a tree until Christmas Eve.
Oh.
And I went down, up on Harvard Street in Alston, where I always bought my tree.
Yeah.
You remember that lot
Yes.
up there? And I went in, I'd bought a tree there probably 10, 11 years by that time. And I'm looking in, and they still have a fair number of trees. I mean, not as many as they normally would, but they had them. But there was absolutely nobody there. And I'm hanging around, and I'm holding a tree, and I'm looking like I want to buy a tree, and there's nobody there. They'd given up and gone home. So that year, on Christmas Eve, I got a free tree.
Well, could I shake your hand? It's nice. Turns out
for
the
a
trees
free
have
tree.
gone up this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't bought a tree in years. They're probably pretty expensive these
They are
days.
pretty expensive. They cost a lot of money now. If you want anything that's up to 8 feet tall,
Yeah. So what's an 8-foot good Christmas tree cost these days?
$100.
$100. I remember when Christmas didn't cost me $100.
All kinds of fees that everybody has to pay.
Oh yeah.
And the best corners have to be auctioned off.
Oh really?
Yes, the best.
Sort of like Hackney licenses or something.
Yeah, it turns out. And the guy says you can't even make a living at it. It's impossible. You have to pay so much for everything.
So why are they doing it?
Can't answer that question.
If you can't make a living at it, why are you doing it?
Well, it's fun, I guess. You meet old folks.
No, I mean, people frequently can't claim you can't make a living at this, you can't make a living at that.
But they keep doing it.
And,
What?
like you hear today you can't make a living driving a cab and
Well, what's
stuff
this
like that.
these pop-up stores
So
everywhere?
why do you do it?
What about pop-up stores? What's that?
Well, I think you get an empty store and you move your stuff in there and you exist for a day or a week or
So
something
you bring
like
in
that.
300 Christmas trees in the store. Is that,
Well,
how's that?
I don't know.
You could.
I guess you could, but
I guess,
have you ever bought a Christmas? Well, I don't know if you've ever bought a Christmas tree, but
Yeah.
but I've never bought
I mean,
a
a
Christmas.
Hanukkah bush.
I've never bought a Christmas tree indoors.
Oh. They have a strange odor.
I have plenty of Jewish friends who buy what we would call Christmas trees.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a Christmas tree.
No, it smells good no
And it
matter what your
smells good. They got
religious.
all kinds of nice lights and decor. And
But I must say, in my entire life, I have never bought a Christmas tree indoors.
oh, okay.
The closest you can come, and I think probably most Christmas trees around here are bought from Home Depot. You know, I mean, the entire outdoor portion of the Home Depot garden center this time of year is Christmas trees and garlands and wreaths and
I
stuff
remember
like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing
It's
that.
it's the whole
I
thing.
was still looking for flowers at that time.
Yeah.
Fortunately, everything was drooping over and frozen. There were
Except the poinsettias. Rick.
poinsettias. Yeah.
I
They're tough.
I rushed down to Home Depot to buy 50 feet of balsam garland and stuff so we could decorate the Shirley Eustace mansion for this season.
I don't know if you knew that in Boston, now for the schools, they have different opening times.
Oh yeah, and they're different from school to school, which is very confusing.
No, the high schools are going to start at about 9 now.
Well, this past
8:30.
week, the administrators were going around from school to school to tell them what the hours of that school were going to be.
More complicated than that, I think.
Yeah, no, but not all the schools are having the same schedule.
I'm getting a little dizzy listening to all this.
Well, fortunately, neither one of us needs to go.
Okay, all right.
You know, but I think it's good. You know, I think it's really smart. I think all the science is there to show that high school kids don't learn much at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's true.
You know?
I know that.
And so they seem to finally be recognizing that. And why had they held on so hard to that early start?
Oh, that's a good.
Because the parents had to go to work. They
Yeah,
wanted to drop their kids off at school before they went to work.
Well, now comes the elementaries. Most of them are starting at 7 something.
7?
7.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I know it is, but that's a good answer. Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like in the old days, they used to have schedule school breaks at harvest time because they needed the kids out in the field to
I used to get
pick cucumbers or something.
this time of the year, certainly after Christmas, we get back. I used to try to get to school very early and open that door up and get them in the building because
To warm up.
they were wearing sneakers and send them to school with a sweater and I get them in there.
This was before the days of the breakfast programs.
Oh
right?
no!
Oh, you had a breakfast program?
Then they had breakfast,
Oh, good.
which was
Good.
not your usual English style full breakfast. It was some cereal,
There were no bangers.
no bangers or roasted tomatoes or whatever. Okay. Anyways,
No blood pudding on the menu. Can we say?
yeah.
All right, my friend, hit your keyboard.
Okay, but bitcoins are big now in Chicago.
I still don't trust them.
I don't either. If you short them, it's better.
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, everybody. Good night, Irene, from the Fun Show here at Big TV. We will see you next week, and we wish you all a happy Hanukkah. And next week, we'll wish another large chunk of you a Merry Christmas.